Do you guys think aliens or
Send him
non-human?
up there. Sorry, I just have a real good joke. Yeah, send him up there in the comedy mothership.
That's
Sorry,
good. That
sorry,
is
I
good.
had to stop for that one.
We have things like, do you think they have music, trinkets, and art? I rarely, if ever, hear of them showing they have any kind of culture beyond advanced technology or maybe spirituality. And this guy goes, I think this is true. We watch The Godfather and they watch us. I've heard someone describe what it's like for them to watch an individual on Earth. They can watch dozens, hundreds more at the same time. They see intersecting lines more than one, and it's polyphonic. I think it takes lower intelligence to be one person and listen to Mozart. They can be more than one person at the same time and listen, watch, experience more than one thing at the same time. Mozart would be like anthills to them. It gets a passing glance. I think the principles in Mozart songs, how much Mozart do you think this guy's listened to?
Zero.
Sure.
Zero.
He's listening to Deftones. he's listening to like Led Zeppelin and stuff. He's like he goes. So when Mozart writes from the heart, and he parentheses, and Mozart apparently was chanting alien intelligence / higher mind when he did his thing, and tells an amazing story. They're aware of that. The consciousness aspect to UAPs is actually the whole aspect. When you write a great opera or play piano, well, it's only great when people are captivated and moved by the story of it. This is what aliens are doing. The most captivating, moving shit of all time. Next guy just says, do you show cows your art?
Wait, what?
Do you show cows your art? I mean,
I see.
That's a good point.
Okay.
Yeah, this guy goes, see, the thing is, we're going to create advanced AI way before we will ever create tech capable of intergalactic travel. Well, we know that advanced AI will exterminate all human life.
Yeah.
I love the assumptions that we get to go on with these guys. They're like, we all know what's going to happen. And it's like, I didn't know that. So the alien don't have art, music, etc., because they're drones, avatars of an AI, which has no use for us. It may have access to cultural reference of such and may even be curious about culture and biological civilization, hence why they visit. But I would be very surprised if any other civilization will become intergalactic travel capable without having made the mistake of creating AI, which will ultimately first exterminate all biologicals trying to control or restrict.
I think I just
go ahead.
Sorry. I realize why I hate this so much. Why it's like so annoying to me is because it very well might be true. And like I said, I'm open to believing it. It sounds like Jack has some knowledge on it, and like the stuff that Jack has been saying, it leads me to believe more that there could be something. But if it is true, it is so fucking complicated. And it would be so difficult to understand and discuss, even for the smartest person in the world, even if they had all the knowledge. And this is the dumbest guys with none of the knowledge discussing it in depth and using all of these really technical sounding shit. And it is just fucking, you have to realize at the end of the day is it's like just all of their fantasies. They are just like, they're maybe going off of some
like zombies,
but it's just like, it's a bunch of fantasy bullshit.
And like very uncreative and like a very limited view of what would be possible. Where, and I'm very fascinated, but it often goes negative very fast. Like to me, it's exciting because like if there was some kind of advanced group able to get to us, give us information, even if it was like telepathic, that would be incredible. Imagine if they even gave us a power source that was just a little bit better than what we have now.
Absolutely. And it was
what we could do, have unlimited food.
They don't think we're on the level to, because I've seen a lot of people say, well, we don't have anything to give them. Or the other thing that they say is like, well, we could give them minerals because we could give them gold and silver and maybe they'll give us their technology. And it's like, that isn't going to work. That's why they think gold and silver are worth money. Is that like the people in charge use the gold and silver to trade with the aliens? And I'm like, gold and silver doesn't even make sense to be currency here. You
No.
know? It's just
No, it's
something
just
we made up.
arbitrary. There's been like isolated tribes that were using seashells as of recently.
Yeah.
Currency. It's like essentially arbitrary.
I said that to my I said that to my father-in-law once because he was buying all this fucking silver. And I was like, what, you gonna sleep on a pile of silver when the world ends? Like there's nothing, but he's now, you know, living in a chicken coop and shitting in a bucket. So
yeah, it's just like water and weapons. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Really, if you're really getting down to it, I think at the end of the day, that's the stuff that you really want to have if the actual world is ending. You know,
and
It would be if to get here they would need anti-gravity.
yes,
Is like basically the thinking, or that they're not even physically here. It would be like all telepathic,
yeah,
which is also cool. I mean, that's what I kind of like thinking down that path.
or sending drones. I think a lot of them think the Greys are drones. Is what I've seen.
I if it was all telepathic though, that would be, to me, that would be a really, really scary, like terrifying, even if it was a positive thing, because of like, it would seem like people are having delusions, like people are like, you know, like it would be this huge, like I just think like the implications.
Here's how I
think
think of it. Here's how I think of it. Like when people get implants, when deaf people get implants that allow them to hear, it's like very, very
there's other implants
painful
too,
and terrible
by the
at
way.
first.
There's other implants you can get if you're having issues with other things. Sorry, that's just for our listeners.
Well, okay. So it's really, really bad at first until your brain learns to use it. So like if we were sending signals back to ourselves in time, like if somehow we figured out how to do that later, or we have like some kind of device that lets us do that, like receiving those would be really confusing and probably poorly interpreted. Like our brains would be. So like it could be that our brains are just we're seeing this stuff and can barely process it, and that's kind of the strange stuff that people see, you know. And the mixed messages.
Yeah, and the messages could be thought, like the way it sounds to me is like the questions could be thoughts that you're already having. The answers to the questions could be thoughts you're already having because you're hearing it and you're feeling it, and it's not like we aren't going to be speaking English back and forth with each other. There's not like a language.
No.
Where, and they never think of that either. Like they never think of the fact that like, no, talking is probably not going to happen. Like,
or even sound at all. Like if you think about it, like sound, we can only hear a tiny portion of sound waves. We can only see a tiny portion of light waves. So like there's a chance we wouldn't even be able to like see these things. It could be, you know, or vice versa.
Yeah. So this is an episode of Guys. So what we have, I'm sorry, Jack. I'm sorry.
They might not be able to hear the Deftones. Is what I'm saying.
That'd be my hell, really. If I
would kill myself immediately.